What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Something I've been putting off for a bit, and I keep getting requests for. I've been teasing you Renegade guys with for a while. We're going to install the Dalton primary clutch spring on this here today. So, walk you through the process. Should be pretty straightforward, but this is the spring we're putting in. It's a tan primary spring from Dalton Industries. Supposed to increase bottom end and acceleration. So, we'll see how it does. The machine has plenty of mid-range top end power. So this is supposed to increase bottom end. So we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna get the primary cover off and then take the primary apart and we'll go from there. So walk you through the next step of the process here once I get the cover off. Alrighty guys, we are back. So cover is off, 8mm bolts. You can see there's a whole bunch. I was able to get it off without taking the footwell off or anything like that. I've seen people take the footwell off. You don't really need to. If you use a long enough extension and a swivel head before the socket, you can get to all of them. And the only pain in the ass one is probably that one right there on the bottom. There's 4 on the bottom, but that one right there was a little more difficult. But you can come through right between the footwell and the skid plate. Get in there with a long enough extension. 19mm socket for the primary bolt. I use the cordless impact, nothing fancy, comes right off. We're gonna pull that bolt off. I only have 2 hands, I don't have a tripod here, so I'm gonna pull it off. And then you'll see the spring is right there. That's what we're gonna be changing. The spring will pop right off. You make sure you don't wanna lose no spacers, none of that. If you got a lot of miles on it, once you get this off, a good thing to do, I'm not gonna do it because this machine is like brand new still, but the roller bearing right there, the one-way bearing, that needs to be periodically greased. There's a special grease from Can-am. You can't just use any grease in there. So there's a special grease that they recommend for those. I have a whole tube left over from when I had my X3. It's the same grease, so you're gonna use that. You can pick it up on Amazon, or a lot of the aftermarket clutch kit companies supply that grease. They sell it, so you can just get it in a little tube. I think I have a tube actually here. I'll show you what it is. Let me see where I can find mine. Here it is. It's this right here. It's the NB52 synthetic roller end plain bearing grease. All right, this is what you're going to use, not regular grease. This is it. You got to use this stuff. You just put a little dab on the inside, smear it in, put the bearing back on, and that is it. All right, so let's pop this sucker off. I'll show you what it looks like, and then we'll get the new spring on. Okay, so that's the new spring in there. Here's the old one. You can see the difference. Less coils on the Dalton spring, less coils, and then but the diameter of the wire used is thicker. So this is pretty soft. So this spring here, the Dalton spring, is actually about a 1/4 inch shorter, but it's a little stiffer. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. They say this is all they recommend. Dalton doesn't even sell anything else as far as a clutch kit goes for this machine. They said everything else in their testing works really well, and this is all they recommend is for this spring to get the most out of this machine. So we'll see what she does. So make sure when you get this off, you don't lose anything. The bolt comes off. You got the washer, and then you got a little spacer there. Okay, a little shim. So make sure that stays. You don't want to lose that. And then make sure this don't come apart, because the outer part can come off, and then you'll lose all your little pucks in there. Just pull it off in one assembly, slide it right back on. We're going to slide the bolt back in. Torque it down 74 foot-pounds, okay? All right, guys, so I got it all torqued down. I wanted to give you a little tip. So obviously when you drive the bolt back in, once you compress the spring, get the bolt started, then you can drive it back in with your cordless impact or whatever you got, but then you're gonna have to check the torque. So like I said, it's gotta be 74 foot-pounds. The problem you're gonna run into is, torquing that bolt down and then holding the primary so it don't move. So what I use, which I understand not everybody's gonna have, but you're gonna need something to hold the clutch safely without breaking something. So I have this here. This is a spanner wrench for Fox shocks on a truck that I got years ago. And it's come in handy for quite a few things besides adjusting shocks, this being one of them. So I set it up on here, held it with that, and then torqued it down to 74 foot-pounds with my torque wrench. So that is that. I'm gonna leave the cover off and take it for a rip. This way, if there's any issues, I don't have to rip the cover back off again. So we're gonna clear out the garage here. I'm gonna pull this out, take you for a ride with me, see what my reactions are and what I think. But we'll get the quads pulled out, we'll get this one pulled out, and then we'll take it for a rip and see if we feel a difference. So hang on. Wait for this car to pass. And then we'll get on my closed circuit course here. That top speed there, we were at 71. It's really not all much different from the stock spring. So let's see if I can feel a difference here on the bottom end. We'll try low gear as well. I'll be honest with you, I'm not feeling a difference. If anything, I think it feels slower. Try low gear. Maybe flip four-wheel drive on. Let's try four-wheel drive and high first. But I didn't have a problem with that once it gets off the line with the stock spring. So I'm having a hard time determining if the spring's even doing anything right now, to be honest. Let's try low gear. Put four-wheel drive off. Guys, to be honest, I'm tempted to put the stock spring back in it. And see, low gear actually feels lower now, like revs out faster, but high gear doesn't really feel much different, to be honest. All right, guys. So, overall impressions, not impressed. I got to be honest. I didn't feel any difference. As a matter of fact, it almost felt like it had better power with the stock spring. So I'm going to pull the spring, put the stock one back on there, take it for another rip. It's literally 5 minutes. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll go back out with the stock spring on there and, running it back to back, see if we feel the difference. Don't mind the dogs barking in the background. I have 3 crazy dogs in the house, and they don't know how to be quiet. So we'll be back guys, in a minute. As you can see, she's all buttoned up. We came back from our second test drive with the stock clutch spring, and here's the Dalton clutch spring still on the toolbox, and that's where she's going to stay because big bust. Didn't do anything. I didn't feel a drop of difference. If anything, it was just a little noisier, the clutch, in all honesty, with that spring in there. But yeah, I mean, it was $30, so is what it is. But yeah, I was hoping for some improvement. I had heard that does make a improvement in bottom end, but I didn't feel a thing. Low gear, high gear, nothing. Top speed was the same, as you guys may have seen from the video clips. But yeah, definitely doesn't do anything. So if you're watching this waiting to hear positive reviews in hopes to doing it yourself for a good cheap mod for some more power on bottom end, don't waste your money or time. I would say if you're interested in doing clutching, just go with the full STM primary clutch, or see if there's another company out there that makes a full clutch kit for this thing specifically. Dalton says doesn't need any clutching, so that's why they only recommend the tan spring in the primary. But the tan spring didn't do anything, so maybe they're right. Maybe it doesn't need anything, but I can't imagine there's not some kind of changes you can make to help improve it a little bit. But a lot of guys have success with the full, changing the whole primary clutch out altogether. That is quite expensive. Not the route I'm going to take for the intended purpose and what we use this machine for, and it's my wife's machine anyway. So I'm not going to spend $1,000 on a clutch. So it's just not worth it. We'll probably do an exhaust on it next. That'll be a next mod, slip on. I'm not sure which one yet. But that's it on the Renegade video for now. Follow us on Instagram if you haven't already, Odyssey_offroad. There's a couple trips coming up in October. We're going to UTV Takeover. I posted a poll on my Instagram of which trip I should make. The UTV Takeover with the Razor at Sand Hollow State Park, or take the Raptor to Little Sahara in Oklahoma for the 250R Legends Tour, which is a sport quad meetup, first weekend of October. All the big YouTubers are going to be there. Pete Hager, Michael Sabo, Stupid Fast John, a lot of guys. So I'm still going to try and make that one. That's going to be like a last minute thing. If I do go, I'll let everybody know on my Instagram feed. And then if you guys are going to be there, we can meet up and ride together. I'm going to be going solo, so I'll be looking for some people to ride with anyway. But my daughter really wanted to go to UTV Takeover this year. I went last year with my brother, and she really wants to go. She really wants to go to Utah and do that. So we're going to go to that event. It's a good time. A lot of guys are there as well in the side-by-side world. So that's fun time there. If you guys are going to be there, I'll have the Razor with me there. You know what it looks like. Could probably differentiate me with the different wheels and the Evo orange muffler. I'll have the whip flag on. It says Odyssey Off-Road as well. So if you spot me, say hello, and we'll go for trail rides together or whatever. But I am still going to try to make the trip into Little Sahara for the 250R Legends Tour. Like I said, that'll be a last minute thing if I do go. So I'll let you know on my Instagram page if we're going to go. I'll update you there. But I appreciate you guys tuning into another video. You guys are awesome. We're creeping up on 1,000 subscribers. So let's make that happen. And we'll see you on the next video, guys. Ride safe.